Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Hightop Sports. We got a lot to go over today. I know a lot of you are freaking out, wondering what's going on. We've got some radio silence going on from Billy. Is it good? Is it bad? What's happening here? Is there anybody coming from the transfer portal? Did we get a DB coach? Did we get a D-line coach? Are we getting recruits? Are we losing recruits? I know. A lot's going on, and we got to talk all about it here today, okay? I know you guys are stressing out. I'm stressing out with you. So we're going to talk about what we do know, discuss it, break it down, give us our thoughts and opinions, how we're feeling, and then, of course, you guys will roast me in the comments one which way or the other. All I'm doing is reporting the news. Somehow I'm negative Nancy. I don't understand. I had a smile on my face the entire time yesterday, just enjoying myself, trying to, hang out. That the saying goes, you need to go touch some grass. Some of you need to go lay in the damn thing, okay? Coming at me in the damn comments. Hey, this isn't me. I'm not coaching the football team here, ladies and gentlemen, okay? I'm just here to hang out with you guys. I'm a fan like the rest of you. All right, that's enough of me bitching and complaining about yesterday. But let's dive right into it, ladies and gentlemen. We got some portal visits, boys and girls, okay? Everyone's freaking out, but we got some visits coming in. Now, we're going to talk about these guys here in just a moment, but for the visits thus far is we got Mr. Bridges, quarterback out of Oregon, DeAndre Jules, edge from Pitt. Now, there has been some murmurs. This is not me providing an insight. This is just what's being said. Most people have already heard this. The D-line coach for Pitt is a possible candidate for Florida. So could this be a connector right here? I don't know. Just putting that out there. Joey Slackman, defensive lineman out of Penn. Smart guy. Smart dude. Ivy League kind of guy. I like those guys. And then Shamir Dyke, I believe it's how it's pronounced. Probably butchered it. From Wisconsin. He's a senior. Played with old Grammy Mertz. So get him some... Now, look, nobody's ever going to replace Ricky Pearsall, so don't bite my head off, but just a familiar face is all that I'm saying. Familiar face, somebody you used to throw into. You made a connection with Ricky Pearsall. Maybe you can somewhat fill the void. Somewhat. Easy. Come on. I already see you guys hitting the keyboard. Relax. So, interesting here. Let me go to this next page up because this kind of gives you a feel of where they're headed. So, you can kind of see on three. And look, this is like a crystal ball, but these things, when it comes to the portal, are damn near perfect. They rarely miss. So it looks like DeAndre there from the Pitt looks like it's 100% to Florida. The Joey from Penn is I think 68. It's kind of small, and it has Rutgers kind of there, but we're leading the way. Bridges, obviously, we're leading the way over Vandy, and then Dyke, no, right now undecided, but he is visiting Florida. So we could see a clean sweep. We could see a clean little just pickup here. These four guys coming in, and obviously defensive line is definitely a place of need that we need some love and some joy on. Obviously pushing some guys out from the recruiting cycle, pushing some guys out to the portal, and some guys leaving voluntarily as well. So massive pickup here, but let me take a look. Let's get some information on some of these guys here. Just quick little, obviously I wasn't watching Penn versus Brown last year. So for me to know anything about Joey Slackman, I'd be lying to you, right? So I just put up a quick little bio. He's 6'4", 300 pounds. He's a senior. All Ivy selection, honorable mention, started all 10 games, total 49 tackles, fourth most on the roster, tallied the second most sacks on the team with 4.5 for a loss and 26 yards finished with 4 QB hurries and 2 pass breakups, both leading to interceptions. Honestly, you give me a pass hurry and a sack, we're already double what production we did last year. So I'm liking what I'm hearing. Liking what I'm hearing. So that's Joey Slackman. Got a couple picks. Again, a lot of reps under his belt. That proved to do us well last year with Graham Mertz coming in, having a lot of reps under his belt. And then who else we got? Let's look at Mr. Bridges here, the cornerback from Oregon. I've got his data pulled up here. So he actually has some pretty good stats. Started all 13 games for the Ducks in four seasons with the program. Made a career high 49 tackles, 30 solos, and 3 interceptions. Didn't have much of those last year either, so that'd be great to have. And ranked second among Ducks and tied 4th in the Pac-12 for those interceptions. Added 5 pass breakups, a forced fumble, and a tackle for a loss. At least 1 tackle in 12 of the 13 games, with 6 games of 5 or more tackles. So, and he has 705 total snaps under his belt. So I'm liking what we're getting out of the Mr. Bridges there, the cornerback out of Oregon. A lot of reps, got some interceptions. Again, something that we earned for last year. I think the team had a total of 2, maybe 3. He had all of them by himself, and he was second on his team. So, like what we're doing there. And again, we're gonna talk about the cornerback coach and kind of some insight on that here shortly, because people are saying, like, well, how are we landing D-line players and cornerback coaches? We don't have those things. Well, maybe we just pump the brakes a little bit, right? Pump the brakes down a little bit because it looks like I might have a little something. And then we got Jules there from Pitt. He set a career high in games played, 13. He had 24 tackles, 7.5 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, and 1 forced fumble in 2023. Again, you take Joey Slackman and Jules and just combine them. I mean, you want to talk about just putting the Gators through the roof on stat line, because we don't know what those are at Florida. So I love it. And look, something we heard from Stephen Harris just the other day about where Coach Armstrong is headed and how he kind of spoke to certain guys and said, "Hey, look, love you, think you're great, but you're not fitting what we're looking for." Clearly, this is what we're looking for. Kind of just to give you an idea of where those things are at. Again, Jules is 6'3", 250, and Slackman is 6'4", 300. Big time dude, big size guys. Again, Penn and Pitt, 2 different things there. And then we got Jameer Dyke. He had, from Wisconsin, let me see here. He had 19 passes for 328 yards receiving and 1 touchdown. People are like, well, that's not that much. It's basically what Keon Coleman did last year, and he was up for some kind of award. So that's got to be good for something, right? I think averaged like about 17 yards play as well. Yeah, yards per reception. He was the 3rd leading receiver on the Badgers during the regular season. But look, I think the biggest thing is just giving Graham Mertz a familiar face to throw to, and somebody with a lot of reps under their belt, which would be beneficial, especially losing somebody like a Ricky Pearsall. That wide receiving core is going to be extremely young. Hopefully we can pull a few more. Again, there's a lot of murmurs. There's a secret visit going around. Could it be a big-time wide receiver from another school? Could it be a big-time defense? I don't know. I'm just putting the pieces together. So I know a lot of people were kind of worried, a lot of panicking going around with the transfer portal stuff, but it looks that Billy's getting some moving. He's getting some moving and grooving going on, so no need to fear, okay? Billy's here, all right? He's getting to work. He's grinding away at it. Now, a lot of it I think had to do with people are saying there's a lot of quietness going on, and to be fair, I hate it. I like to know what's going on. But at the same time, I feel like last year we had a lot of things breaking, a lot of news breaking. Like everybody knew what was going on. Like the Trevor Etienne news broke. Everybody knew about that before it actually ever even came out. And you guys start thinking like, well, how does this stuff leak so easily, right? Like I'm hearing about it, and like everyone else is hearing about it pretty quickly as well too. Like I personally, some things would rather just find out like the rest of us would, right? Because I don't know how much it getting out could affect certain things. So maybe there's really trying to cut out where the rat is of not expanding this thing so people don't really know what's going on. Because I think there has to be a D-line and a cornerback coach in place. It just is weird that it hasn't been announced yet, but Billy B might be back into moving some groove or something like that. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure this thing out. Before we get into the cornerback coach and who it could be, and there definitely is a hire, and I'll explain that in just a moment. As I gotta go over this. I have to. All right. Trevor Etienne, obviously he hit the transfer portal. And I think we have to find a new way as a fan to be appreciative and respectful of these guys. I saw some kind of hate on Twitter. Like that's a little too much. Like I'm never gonna like bash somebody or like go after somebody. That's nonsense. I met the young man, incredible human being. Like blast speaking to him. He signed my helmet, like I said. Devastated, right? Because it's weird because you're used to you get a guy who can sign your helmet and it always lives forever because no matter what, like they're a Gator. But nowadays it's so back and forth that they hit the transfer portal. It just doesn't feel the same. But even if they leave, it's like, all right, whatever, they're a Gator. But there's 2 schools you don't go to. There's 2 schools. You don't go to FSU, okay? You do not go to FSU because then it's like, all right, well, then you're dead to me. And the second school is going to be Georgia. And right now they've got him coined for Georgia. And it's personal, okay? If you go to Georgia, Trevor, like, love you to death as a human being, like nothing personal in that regards. But if I don't see Miles Graham, Brandon Spikes his ass come next year in Jacksonville, boy, it's personal. It's personal. He's gonna be wearing the red and black next year after repping the orange and blue for the last 2, having Florida versus anybody. It hits different. Like, I'm not here to yell at these college kids, and I get all that. But, boy, we, us fans, we know how we feel. We bleed that orange and blue. That shit means something different to us. And I understand the world is different, and I understand you're going to go find a new opportunity for you if you need to excel, and I support all of that. Go to Ohio State. Go to Bama for all I care. Hey, roll Tide. I don't care, okay? You do not. You don't Kevin Durant it. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that. I'm gonna be pissed. And it looks like it's going to happen. So it's personal. If I swear to goodness, they better put his head all over the damn locker room come next year. Make it personal. In a healthy way. Like, let's not make this weird. I'm not trying to get in a pissing contest with Trevor Etienne's mama like they did on Twitter. I ain't trying to get the Etienne family pissed off at me. I respect the family. But in between the field and between the white lines, it's personal. That's all I got to say about that. So, look, I'm not here to report any bad news or be negative. I'm just letting you guys know this is what I'm seeing. I do my investigation, trying to figure out what's going on. These things are usually pretty accurate. I already heard it was going to be Georgia, but now I'm just confirming that it more likely will be Georgia. So, I hate it. I hate it here, boys. As for the next point of emphasis here, Coach DB talk. So this was from Teddy Foster, who is a current commit currently. He said this after his state championship game. I'm locked in. I'm a Gator, Foster said minutes after helping the Cougars win the Class 1S state championship on Friday at Bragg Memorial Stadium. We just got a new DB coach in. Now, this was dropped about a day or two ago. He'll be in there Monday, which we've been hearing murmurs that news should be dropping within the next 24 hours with the new guys, and I'll meet him next week sometime. I'm locked in. I'm a Gator right now. I'm a Gator forever. Now, we had an inkling that it could be defensive back coach Will Harris from the Chargers. If you scurry on over to his Twitter and check his likes, he has liked a lot of Florida Gator stuff. A lot. In regards to the events going on this weekend, the official visit this weekend. So that seems to almost be a lock at this point that it is Mr. Will Harris. Just from, I would say, Twitter doing their homework, from us doing our homework, putting two and two together. I'm not here to ruin anybody's surprise, but we're all wanting to know. So as anybody does, we investigate. And look, if you're Will Harris, you could hide it a little bit better. Don't like it. I'm happy you're liking it. Why the holdup, Sheldon? That part, I don't know. Some people say, well, it's because in the NFL, but I saw somebody else hired I'm pretty sure Fran Brown just hired a cornerback coach or some kind of coach from the Patriots. So I don't think that's a rule. I don't know. I honestly do not know why the holdup, where the holdup, if there actually is a holdup. Like I said, it sounds like the players in-house know what's going on, which also tells me that, hey, if everyone knows in-house what's going on and it hasn't broke yet, love what's happening. Kelby Collins also tweeted out a very good, nice little picture. And this is kind of where things start to really wrap back around. Because right now, I think not now, it's always has been a very this Billy train is very back and forth. And it's definitely getting smaller of support for him. But Kelby Collins tweeted out a little picture, says the right people will stay to figure it out. You got guys like that, right, that are continuously bought into the program, continuing still to buy into Billy, even with all the noise that's going on. Like Kelby Collins, these guys, they see the Twitter nonsense that's happening, and that's where their mindset's at. Like, if you're a Gator fan and you see that, you got like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on, but these kids who we support, who we love, who we want to have success, believe and want this to be successful, sign me up. And that's for me, man. Like, I know I get pumped as a Sunshine Gator and this Disney Gator, but I'm never going to be, I'll be frustrated. I'll give you my side and I'll be like, hey, there's some things that I'm frustrated on. I'm never going to be in this camp. I can't say never. I am not in the camp of, hey, let's get rid of Billy. I want Billy to work more than probably a lot of people do. I love the staff. I love just what I've been able to see. I know that's going to offend a lot of people. It is what it is. I know a lot of people, you don't like that. And like, or don't like him or support him. And I support you for that. I'm not saying that I'm right for supporting him. I'm just a big believer in trying to make sure, like, seeing something through. And when I see people continuously support that part excites me. So we'll see. Again, I'm sure I'll get roasted in the comments for something along those lines of supporting, not supporting, whatever, how you guys have it. I don't know. We'll let the comments decide how that figures that thing out. But let me know, guys, in the comments, how we're feeling. Do you feel a little bit better now after seeing this, after the portal news, possible DB news? Are you still a little concerned that we haven't had a D-line coach announced yet? Again, doesn't mean we don't have one. Just means that we haven't heard about it yet. And people are like, well, how can we recruit if we don't have it? Again, we don't know if they don't know, right? We don't know if the recruits don't know what's going on, if the guys coming in the portal don't know. They could know. Now, how could we keep the secret if everybody knows? You're asking a lot of questions I don't have the answers to. But there's a lot of Twitter stuff popping off. How much of it's true or not, I don't know. You got to kind of take it with a grain of salt. But lot of pedals hunting around that there's gonna be some news breaking sometime in the next day or two. I've heard some noise about some possible commits happening. So just keep your eyes peeled, keep your ears pinned up, keep the bell turned on, of course, in case we do drop a little heater today. But I do appreciate you guys always stopping by, showing some love. Drop a like, subscribe. We're almost at 19,000 subs. We're damn near like sniffing it. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you love them to the left. I'm just kidding. I'll see you guys.